Hey guys, and welcome back to Rage Gaming in a new Wilds weapon overview. The series continues towards its end now, and with that we have huge news for the Lance main nation. So gather round, all 6 of you. Let's look at the trailer. Though, memes aside, the amount of people calling for Lance this week has been insane to see, but thankfully the Wilds version has people pretty damn excited. So let's get into it. I first mentioned though should be the absolutely awesome new armor and weapon in the showcase. This would appear to be the new balahara set, which is so perfectly Monster Hunter in design. The monster itself is covered in these bumps and ridges that run along the length of its body. Covered in sand and mud, it's not so shiny as we see it on the Hunter. By comparison on the Hunter, they almost look like teeth with the polished, brighter shine to them. The same is represented on the big shield in its 3 main circular layers. I love the way that looks. The weapon itself is crazy. It's like a big, massive spiral, clearly worn down compared to the armor and cracked from all the hits, essentially representing the tail of Balahara. It matches super well. So I think they've smashed the set out of the park with this one, especially with the lance. So let's talk about the weapon. Let's kick off with what seems a straightforward showing. The lance user simply blocks 2 attacks with some back hops between, but you know, actually there's a tiny window of blue glow between each block. I think we're going to get the clear answer to what that is as we go, but I would say that that's the timing on perfect guard. In our next clip, the change is obvious though, and actually quite big for the feel of the weapon. Before, you'd need to attack, hop, but as shown here, it's smoothly being done. Just in normal gameplay, the lance is poking at the monster while the hunter is hopping to the side. There is no downtime between. For someone who doesn't play lance, that might seem normal or small, but I think that's going to completely change the feel of moving around a monster while you attack to get a better position with this weapon. This seems so much smoother to me compared to how it normally would be. Next though, we get to see the end of a combo. There's the triple poke combo as normal, but then followed by this special thrust which ticks out multiple hits during the big thrust itself. It comes out with a nice bit of vertical aim, so you can use it to actually aim a bit higher. What's nice is the fact that you can throw that out kind of whenever, if you're able to move around the monster, poking and hopping at once, and then you're given this small window to actually perform that move, you can instantly take it. So good to see, but that's more the subtle stuff. Let's now talk about the awesome counterattack here. A big part of lance is to block and then send out counterattacks. Here we see the hunter pull up what seems to be just a well-timed block. Again, the blue glow occurs right as it's about to be hit, but this one's actually perfectly timed. So in this case, we see the perfect guard, and then it's punished with a new counterattack to the face of the monster. A very satisfying shield bash. This then sends it reeling because this blunt style attack is certainly going to be, say, like the S&S shield attacks, building up lots of KO potential that Lance didn't normally have before. In the next clip, we get more counter details. Here we have the classic power guard, which has you crouch down behind the shield. As you can see, again, there's a blue flare as the shield is first raised. To time this properly then, you'd want a power guard right as you're about to be hit during that blue flare, resulting in a perfect guard. Here instead, the hunter just throws it out, holding it and missing that perfect window, but it's fine. The attack is still blocked as normal. And then you have the exiting attack, this kind of counter-attack thrust. This can just be done by default though, even if you haven't taken a hit from anything. It's still a very vertical move and can have force behind it to stagger the monster like it does here. And the power guard in general is your safe go-to 360 protection style move. There's nothing wrong with throwing it out when you're not sure, but obviously you'd aim to land it during the blue flare as you open the guard. In the next clip though, we see more. Again, the power guard is activated, but maybe a bit too early, so just a normal block here. But instead of the same thrust up, the hunter does something totally different. He performs a quick poke with way less vertical aim, and then goes straight into the hilarious lance charge, which as before can be used to sprint forward. You should be able to jump thrust with it, dealing ticking damage as you pass by, and you can also turn around to continue it straight back the way you came. In this case though, the hunter just ends it with the sideways swing, but it's cool to see how that charge was smoothly used mid-fight, rather than just as a gap closer, at least in my experience. Moving forward though, we finally get to see focus mode. And instead of attacking with the lance here, the hunter just slaps the monster with their shield, which is awesome. He throws himself forward, smashing with the shield, instantly causing a little stagger here, but then that's followed by a sort of rush forward with the shield, which deals small ticking damage that I would assume would be more KO build-up. It's ended though with a strong thrust that causes the hunter to yell out for it, so it seems a pretty strong attack. So for me, that's an awesome focus mode combo. KO damage, shield bash, and a hyper strong thrust. seemingly coming out pretty quick. Lastly though, we do have the usual fast clips at the end. Here we see the lance charge up a stronger hit. Apparently this is the clutch claw counter stance. You don't have the claw here obviously, but you can do it and then counter with a double thrust after. After that we do see the lance charge with a jump thrust, so that's back, and then we have the lance getting a clash clip where you're pressing against the monster for an attack. This is just a kind of thrust though with the lance, something we saw with the heavy bowgun and greatsword trailers too. But yeah, that's the lance trailer. Overall, I think this looks fantastic. My first viewing did make me think, oh, they've just given Lance some shield moves, but it is more than that. The fact that seemingly many moves can combo into each other for a smoother moveset overall. The way it's smoother to reposition while attacking during the hot pokes. The shield bash stuff is going to lead to massive KO buildup as a great option they didn't really have before. So overall, yeah, a lot smoother for Lance mains in Wilds, with a lot more options based on what you're dealing with in that moment. I'm pretty pleased with that, and I'm surprised to say that I think I'm going to give it a try myself. With this though, it should finally be Dual Blade's turn tomorrow, so we'll see you for that. Until then, I've been Hollow, you've been you. Thanks for watching.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.